First contact, the frozen emissary. The endless expanse of Arctic ice stretched before Captain Zara Frost, a blank canvas of white broken only by the lumbering form of her Titan-class mech. The massive machine's footsteps sent tremors through the frozen landscape, each impact a reminder of humanity's determination to survive in this unforgiving environment. Zara checked her senses for the 1,000th time that day, more out of habit than expectation. 15 years of patrolling the Arctic Circle had taught her that surprises were rare in this desolate wasteland. But today, as her Titan crested yet another icy ridge, her world changed forever. "Base, this is Frost," she said, her voice steady despite the adrenaline suddenly coursing through her veins. "I'm picking up an anomaly. Repeat, anomaly detected." The response was immediate. "Copy that, Frost." "What kind of anomaly?" Zara's eyes narrowed as she studied the readout. I'm not sure. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. Sending data now." As she transmitted the information back to base, Zara maneuvered her Titan closer to the source of the strange readings. The ice before her seemed to shimmer, as if reality itself was bending. Then, with a sound like shattering glass, a portion of the frozen landscape simply vanished. In its place stood a structure that defied explanation. Crystal spires jutted from the ice, their surfaces refracting the pale Arctic sunlight into a dazzling array of colors. At the center of this alien construct was a pod, its surface covered in intricate, swirling patterns that seemed to move of their own accord. "Base, are you seeing this?" Zara whispered, her Titan's external cameras capturing every impossible detail. "Affirmative, Frost." "Stand by for further instructions. Do not approach there." The transmission cut off abruptly as the pod began to glow. Zara instinctively raised her Titan's arms, energy shields humming to life. But instead of an attack, the pod simply opened. Steam billowed out, quickly freezing in the sub-zero air, and from within emerged a figure that made Zara question everything she thought she knew about life in the universe. The being was humanoid, but clearly not human. Its skin was a deep, mesmerizing blue, like the heart of a glacier. Intricate patterns, similar to those on the pod, swirled across its bare form, but most striking were its eyes, pools of liquid silver that seemed to contain entire galaxies. As Zara watched, transfixed, the alien took a single step forward. Then, to her utter astonishment, it spoke. "Greetings, guardian of ice," the being said, its voice like the whisper of wind over snow. "I am Lyra, emissary of the Frost Collective. We come seeking your aid." For a moment, Zara could only stare. Then, slowly, she opened her Titan's cockpit and emerged into the biting cold. "I'm Captain Zara Frost," she said, her breath visible in the frigid air. "And I think we have a lot to talk about." Lyra inclined her head, a gesture almost human in its familiarity. "Indeed we do, Captain. The fate of both our peoples may depend on it." As if on cue, Zara's comms crackled back to life. "Frost, report. What's happening out there?" Zara took a deep breath, her eyes never leaving the alien before her. "Base, prepare for visitors. It seems we're not alone in the universe after all." The next few hours were a blur of activity. More Titans arrived, along with research teams and military personnel. A temporary base was established around the alien structure, with Lyra's pod at its center. Through it all, Zara remained by the alien's side, acting as a liaison between two species meeting for the first time. As the Arctic night fell, bringing with it the dancing lights of the aurora borealis, Zara found herself alone with Lyra in a hastily erected command tent. The alien seemed utterly at ease in the freezing temperature, while Zara huddled close to a portable heater. "Your world is beautiful," Lyra said, her silver eyes reflecting the shimmering lights outside, "but it is in grave danger." Zara leaned forward, her curiosity overcoming her discomfort. "What kind of danger?" Lyra's expression grew somber. "The kind that consumed our home world. The kind that turns oceans to steam and skies to fire. Your people call it global warming, But it is far more than that. It is a force that, left unchecked, will render your planet uninhabitable. We know about climate change, Zara said, a hint of defensiveness in her tone. We're working on solutions. Lyra shook her head, her movements fluid and graceful. You do not understand the true scale of the threat. We have seen it before on countless worlds. The warming accelerates, far beyond your model's predictions. In mere decades, your civilization will collapse. Zara felt a chill that had nothing to do with the Arctic cold. And you've come to help us. In a way, Lyra replied, we are the survivors of worlds consumed by heat. We have learned to harness the power of cold to restore balance where it has been lost. But we cannot do it alone. We need humanity's help. Before Zara could respond, alarms blared throughout the camp. She rushed to the tent's entrance, Lyra close behind. In the sky above, brilliant streaks of light cut through the aurora. But these were no shooting stars. Orbital defenses are engaging multiple bogies, a voice shouted over the comms. Unknown craft entering the atmosphere. All personnel, battle stations. Zara turned to Lyra, questions burning in her eyes. The alien's expression was grim. They have found us, Lyra said. The Burning Ones. They seek to stop us, to let your world burn as so many others have. As chaos erupted around them, Zara made a decision that would alter the course of human history. Tell me what we need to do, she said, extending her hand to the alien. Lyra took it, her cool touch a stark contrast to the warmth of Zara's skin. Together, the alien said, we will forge a new future, one of ice and fire, in perfect balance. And as the first explosions lit up the Arctic night, a most unlikely alliance was born. Humanity and the Frost Collective, united against a threat from beyond the stars. The battle for Earth's future had begun, and at its heart stood a human woman and an alien maiden, their fates now irrevocably intertwined. Thawing relations. Understanding the alien, the Arctic Research Base, once a bastion of isolation, now buzzed with an energy that bordered on chaos. Scientists, military personnel, and newly arrived diplomats swarmed around the crystalline structures that had erupted from the ice, their faces a mix of awe and trepidation. At the center of this maelstrom stood Captain Zara Frost and Lyra, the blue-skinned emissary of the Frost Collective. Quantum ice manipulation, Dr. Samira Khan muttered, her dark eyes wide as she ran a scanner over one of the alien spires. It's not just cold, it's rewriting the laws of thermodynamics on a localized scale. Zara raised an eyebrow at Lyra. Care to translate that into something the rest of us can understand? Lyra's silver eyes twinkled with amusement. Your scientist is not far off. We do not simply create cold. We persuade reality to prefer lower energy states. Right, Zara drawled, because that's so much clearer. Their banter was interrupted by a commotion at the edge of the camp. A group of protesters had somehow made it past the security perimeter, their signs declaring no alien overlords and protect Earth's warmth. Zara sighed. News of the alien arrival had leaked, and the world's reaction was mixed, to say the least. I don't understand, Lyra said, her head tilted in confusion. We offer salvation, yet they resist. Fear, Zara replied, watching as security personnel escorted the protesters away. Humans fear what they don't understand. And let's face it, you're about as far from understandable as it gets. Lyra's expression softened. Perhaps it is time we changed that. What followed was unprecedented in human history. Lyra, with Zara's help, began a series of global broadcasts. They called it the Thawing, a chance for humanity to ask questions directly to their alien visitor. Why, you look so human, a child from Brazil asked during one session. Lyra smiled, the swirling patterns on her skin pulsing gently. Convergent evolution, Yum 1. The bipedal form is efficient for tool use and complex problem solving. As for our blue skin, she gestured to the ice around her. Camouflage in our original environment. What happened to your world? This from a grizzled reporter in New York. Lyra's smile faded. We were like you once. Creators, dreamers, explorers. But we were also careless. We harnessed the power of our sun without fully understanding the consequences. Our oceans boiled. Our atmosphere burned. In our desperation, we learned to manipulate cold itself to survive in the frozen remnants of our world. The questions continued, ranging from the scientific to the deeply personal. Through it all, Lyra answered with patience and grace, while Zara found herself playing the role of cultural interpreter, helping to bridge the gap between human and alien perspectives. As weeks passed, the initial fear began to thaw. Lyra's earnest desire to help, combined with the undeniable evidence of her advanced technology, slowly won over even the staunchest skeptics. But not everyone was convinced. It's a trick, General Harding growled during a high-level briefing. These Frost Collective aliens are softening us up. The moment we let our guard down, they'll freeze our entire planet. Zara fought the urge to roll her eyes. With all due respect, General, if they wanted to harm us, they could have done so already. Their technology is centuries beyond ours, which is precisely why we can't trust them. Harding slammed his fist on the table. We need to strike first before. He was cut off by a piercing alarm. Screens around the room flared to life, showing satellite imagery of multiple objects entering Earth's atmosphere. The burning ones, Lyra whispered, her silver eyes wide with fear. They found us. As chaos erupted in the command center, Zara felt a cool hand slip into hers. She looked down to see Lyra's blue fingers intertwined with her own. I need to show you something, the alien said urgently. Something that might save us all. Without waiting for a response, Lyra led Zara through the winding corridors of the base, past startled personnel and blaring alarms. They emerged onto the icy tundra, where Lyra's crystalline pod still stood. What I'm about to share with you, Lyra said, her voice solemn, has never been revealed to any other species. It is the heart of our power and our greatest vulnerability. The pod opened with a whisper, revealing an interior that seemed to stretch impossibly far beyond its physical dimensions. At its center floated a pulsing, fractal shape that hurt Zara's eyes to look at directly. This is the frost core, Lyra explained. It is how we manipulate quantum states to create cold. With it, we can counteract the warming of your world and repel the burning ones. But to use it at full power, we need a connection to this planet. We need a human, Zara finished, understanding dawning. You need one of us. Lyra nodded. The process is dangerous, painful. It would forge a permanent link between our species, but it may be the only way to save your world. Zara stared at the alien, at this being who had come so far to offer hope to a dying planet. She thought of the protesters, of General Harding's suspicions, of the burning ships even now entering Earth's atmosphere. She thought of all the futures that hung in the balance. I'll do it, Zara said, her voice steady. Show me how. Lyra's eyes widened. You understand the risks? The pain. Once done, this cannot be undone. Zara managed a wry smile. Humanity, fuck yeah, right? Let's save the world. As Lyra began to explain the process, the sky above them lit up with the first explosions of battle. The burning ones had arrived, and with them, a trial by fire that would test the newfound alliance between human and alien to its very limits. In the frozen wasteland of the Arctic, with the fate of two species hanging in the balance, Captain Zara Frost prepared to embrace the cold like never before. The true test of humanity's resilience was about to begin. Heat of battle, humanity's stand. The sky blazed with unearthly fire as the burning ones descended upon Earth. Their ships, resembling miniature suns, scorched the atmosphere as they plummeted towards the Arctic. The world watched in stunned silence as humanity faced its first extraterrestrial invasion. Inside Lyra's crystalline pod, Captain Zara Frost stood before the pulsating frost core, her heart racing with a mixture of fear and determination. All right, Blue, she said, managing a tight smile. "Let's do this before I come to my senses." Lyra's silver eyes met Zara's. "Remember, once we begin, there's no turning back. The merge between human and frost core is irreversible." "Story of my life," Zara muttered, always jumping into the deep end. As Lyra began the intricate process of connecting Zara to the frost core, the battle raged outside. Earth's military forces engaged the Burning Ones, their most advanced weapons seeming little more than firecrackers against the alien invaders' technology. General Harding's voice crackled over the emergency broadcast system. "This is not a drill. All civilians seek immediate shelter. To all military personnel, this is what we've trained for. Humanity stands united against this threat. Give 'em hell." Inside the pod, Zara gasped as tendrils of impossible cold began to seep into her body. It felt like her very atoms were being rearranged, pulled apart and reassembled in a dance of quantum impossibility. "Stay with me, Zara." Lyra's voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. "Your mind is the anchor. Focus on why you're doing this, on who you're protecting." Zara gritted her teeth against the pain, conjuring images of Earth, of laughing children, of forests and oceans, of the countless lives hanging in the balance. As she did, something extraordinary happened. The cold ceased to be painful. Instead, it became a part of her, a wellspring of power beyond anything she'd ever imagined. Zara opened eyes she didn't remember closing and gasped. The world had changed. She could see the quantum fabric of reality itself, the dance of particles and possibilities. And more importantly, she could influence it. "Holy shit," Zara breathed, watching as frost patterns swirled across her skin, not unlike Lyra's. "Is this how you see the world all the time?" Lyra's smile was radiant. "This and so much more. Now, are you ready to save your planet?" Zara nodded, a fierce grin spreading across her face. "Let's show these Burning Ones what happens when you mess with Earth." They emerged from the pod into chaos. The Arctic base was under heavy attack, Burning One ships raining down plasma bolts that melted everything they touched. But now, Zara saw more than just destruction. She saw possibility. With a thought, she reached out to the quantum fabric of reality and twisted. A wall of absolute zero materialized between the base and the attacking ships, instantly freezing and shattering the incoming plasma bolts. "Holy Mother of God," General Harding's voice came over the comms, a rare note of awe in his gruff tone. "What the hell did you do, Frost?" "Just a little quantum manipulation, sir," Zara replied, unable to keep the smugness from her voice. "Turns out, our alien friends had a few tricks up their sleeves after all." As Zara and Lyra joined the fray, the tide of battle began to turn. Zara's newfound powers, combined with Lyra's millennia of experience, proved to be a formidable combination against the Burning Ones. They moved across the battlefield like avenging spirits of winter, freezing ships mid-air and creating ice bridges for Earth's forces to advance upon. The Burning Ones, for the first time in their long history of conquest, found themselves on the defensive. But the invaders weren't about to go down without a fight. As Zara and Lyra pushed them back, the largest of the Burning One ships began to glow with an ominous light. "They're going to attempt a solar flare simulation," Lyra shouted, her eyes wide with fear. "If they succeed, it will melt the polar ice caps instantly." Zara's mind raced, calculating possibilities with her new quantum perception. "Can we stop it?" Lyra shook her head. "Not in time. The energy buildup is too great." Zara took a deep breath, an impossible idea forming. "Then we don't stop it. We redirect it." Before Lyra could protest, Zara rocketed into the sky, propelled by her control over thermal energy. As she approached the massive Burning One ship, she could feel the heat building to impossible levels. "All right, you overrated mapsticks," Zara growled. "Let's see how you like a taste of your own medicine." As the ship released its devastating solar flare, Zara threw her hands out, calling upon every ounce of her new powers. The fabric of space-time bent around her, creating a quantum tunnel that redirected the massive energy burst. Instead of striking Earth, the solar flare was funneled directly into the heart of the Burning One fleet. Ships exploded like mini supernovas, the invaders' own weapon turned against them. As the last of the Burning One ships fell from the sky, a cheer went up from the human forces below. Zara floated back down to Earth, exhausted but triumphant, to find Lyra waiting for her with an expression of awe. "In all our travels," the alien said softly, "we've never encountered a species quite like humanity. Your adaptability, your courage, it's extraordinary." Zara managed a tired grin. Humanity, fuck yeah, right? As the dust settled and the true scope of their victory became clear, Zara found herself at the center of a new world. Humanity had faced its first alien invasion and emerged victorious, but the real challenges were just beginning. The merger of human and frost core technology had opened up possibilities beyond imagination. The threat of global warming could now be directly countered, but at what cost? And how would humanity adapt to its new role as a recognized player on the galactic stage? As reporters clamored for interviews and world leaders demanded explanations, Zara looked out over the Arctic expanse, now littered with the remnants of battle. Lyra stood beside her, a comforting presence in a world turned upside down. "So," Zara said, frost swirling around her fingers, "what's next?" Lyra's silver eyes twinkled with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "Now, Captain Frost, we rebuild. And we prepare, because I fear the Burning Ones were just the beginning." As the Arctic sun peeked over the horizon, casting long shadows across the battlefield, Zara nodded. A new dawn was rising, not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy, and humanity, with its newfound allies and powers, would be at the forefront of whatever came next. The universe, it seemed, had better prepare itself. Humanity was stepping onto the cosmic stage, and they were bringing the cold with them. Melting point, bridging two worlds. The United Nations General Assembly Hall buzzed with an energy unlike anything in its long history. Representatives from every nation on Earth sat in tense anticipation, their eyes fixed on the unusual pair standing at the podium. Captain Zara Frost, hero of the Arctic battle, and Lyra, emissary of the Frost Collective. Zara fought the urge to fidget, acutely aware of the billions watching this broadcast worldwide. The frost patterns swirling across her skin, a permanent reminder of her merger with alien technology, seemed to pulse in tune with her nerves. "Ladies and gentlemen of Earth," she began, her voice steady despite her anxiety, "we stand at a crossroads unlike any our species has faced before." As she spoke, holographic displays flickered to life around the hall, showcasing the aftermath of the Burning One's attack and the miraculous defense mounted by the Human Frost Collective Alliance. The threat of global warming, once our greatest challenge, has become an opportunity for unprecedented growth, Zara continued. With the Frost Core technology, we can not only halt climate change but reverse it. We can reshape our world, terraform dead zones, and explore the cosmos in ways we've only dreamed of. Murmurs of excitement rippled through the crowd, but Zara raised a hand for silence. However, this power comes with a price. The merger between human and Frost Core is irreversible and not without risks. We stand at the precipice of becoming something more than human, yet not quite alien. The question before us is, are we ready to take that leap? As debate erupted in the hall, Lyra stepped forward, her silver eyes scanning the assembled leaders. "Your Captain Frost speaks of choice, but I must warn you, the universe rarely grants the luxury of time. The Burning Ones were but one faction in a vast, often hostile galaxy. Earth is now known to powers beyond your imagination. You must adapt, or you will perish." The hall fell silent, the weight of Lyra's words sinking in. It was at this moment that an unexpected voice rang out. "If I may, I believe I have a solution that could satisfy all parties." All eyes turned to the back of the hall, where a figure in a wheelchair was making her way forward. Dr. Amelia Zhao, the renowned quantum physicist, maneuvered her chair onto the central platform. Dr. Zao, Zara said, surprise evident in her voice. We weren't expecting you. The elderly scientist's eyes twinkled with mischief. My dear, no one ever does. Now, about this dilemma of yours. With a flourish, Dr. Zao produced a small device from her pocket. As she activated it, a complex holographic model sprang to life, filling the air with swirling equations and molecular structures. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Project Chimera, Dr. Zao announced. A way to harness the power of the frost core without full biological integration. The hall erupted in a cacophony of questions, but Dr. Zao calmly continued her explanation. By creating a quantum entanglement between human consciousness and frost core energy, we can achieve a symbiosis that allows for controlled use of the technology without permanent physiological changes. Zara and Lyra exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of hope and skepticism. Is this really possible? Zara asked. Dr. Zao's smile was enigmatic. My dear, in my experience, the only true impossibility is convincing a room full of politicians to agree on anything. This is just very, very complicated physics. As Dr. Zao delved into the technical details of Project Chimera, Zara felt a tug on her consciousness, a new sense she'd developed since her merger with the frost core. Excusing herself, she slipped out of the hall, Lyra close behind. They found themselves in a secluded garden, the New York skyline glittering in the distance. But Zara's attention was focused inward, on a quantum fluctuation that sent chills down her spine. You feel it too? Lyra asked, her voice tight with concern. Zara nodded grimly. Something's coming, something big. As if in response to her words, the sky above them began to shimmer. A rift appeared in the fabric of reality itself, a tear in the universe that made Zara's enhanced senses scream in protest. From this impossible wound in space-time emerged a figure that defied description. It seemed to shift and change with each passing moment, alternating between forms of pure energy and bizarre, alien geometries. Greetings, children of frost and flame. The being's voice resonated directly in their minds. I am the Arbiter, and I have come to judge your worth. Zara instinctively moved into a defensive stance, frost gathering around her fists. Judge us? By what right? The Arbiter's form pulsed with colors beyond human perception. By the right of the cosmic conclave, the assembly of elder races who maintain balance in this chaotic universe. Your recent battle has drawn their attention. The question now is, will you be deemed a threat to be eliminated, or a potential ally to be nurtured? Lyra stepped forward, her usual composure shaken. Arbiter, please. Earth is young, still learning. They deserve a chance to. Silence. The Arbiter's voice boomed, causing reality itself to ripple. The time for coddling is past. Humanity must prove its worth or face extinction. The trial begins now. With those ominous words, the Arbiter vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. In its wake, the rift in space-time began to expand, tendrils of extra-dimensional energy reaching out towards the unsuspecting city. Zara's mind raced, processing the threat with her enhanced cognition. Lyra, if that rift keeps growing, it will consume your entire planet, Lyra finished, her voice grim. The Arbiter's trials are never easy, but this is unprecedented. As alarms began to blare across the city and panicked crowds filled the streets, Zara made a decision. Well then, she said, a determined glint in her eye, I guess it's time to show this cosmic conclave what humanity is really made of. She tapped into the frost core's power, feeling the quantum energy surge through her being. With a thought, she erected a barrier of absolute zero around the expanding rift, hoping to contain its growth. Lyra, Zara grunted, the strain of holding back an interdimensional portal evident in her voice. I could use some help here. And maybe call in that Dr. Zao. Something tells me we're going to need all the big brains we can get. As Lyra rushed to gather reinforcements, Zara stood alone against the encroaching chaos, a lone figure wreathed in swirling ice and frost. The fate of Earth hung in the balance, with humanity facing its greatest trial yet. Little did they know, this was only the beginning of a cosmic journey that would reshape the very foundations of the universe. The age of humanity's isolation was over. The era of galactic adventure had begun. And at the heart of it all stood Captain Zara Frost, a woman caught between two worlds, ready to fight for both, no matter the cost. Forging a new future, ice and fire unite. The New York skyline warped and twisted as reality itself buckled under the strain of the Arbiter's interdimensional rift. Captain Zara Frost stood at the epicenter of the chaos, her body wreathed in quantum frost as she fought to contain the expanding tear in space-time. "Any time now, Doc," Zara shouted, her voice strained as sweat. Or was it liquefied atmosphere? Beaded on her brow. Dr. Amelia Zao's voice crackled over the emergency comms. "Almost there, Captain. Quantum entanglement on this scale is like trying to knit a sweater while riding a roller coaster, backwards." As Zara poured more power into the containment field, she saw Lyra approaching, leading a motley crew of Earth's brightest minds and most powerful leaders. "Calvary's here," Lyra announced, her silver eyes reflecting the swirling vortex above. "Though I fear even our combined strength may not be enough." Zara managed a grim smile. "Then we'll just have to be smarter, won't we?" Dr. Zao's wheelchair hovered into view, modified with technology that looked equal parts Earth and Frost collective. "Indeed we will, my dear. Now, let's show this Arbiter what happens when you back humanity into a corner." What followed was a symphony of science and desperation. Dr. Zao coordinated a global effort, linking supercomputers and Frost core nodes into a planet-wide quantum network. Lyra tapped into ancient Frost collective knowledge, weaving impossibly complex algorithms of ice and thought. And at the center of it all stood Zara, her body a conduit for energies that threatened to tear her apart at the subatomic level. As the hours ticked by and the rift grew ever larger, hope began to fade. That's when an unexpected voice cut through the chaos. Excuse me. I think I might have an idea." All eyes turned to a young woman who had somehow slipped past the military cordon. She couldn't have been more than 20, with bright green hair and a t-shirt that read, "Schrodinger's cat is alive and dead." "This is a restricted area, miss," a soldier began, moving to escort her away. "Wait," Zara called out, something in the girl's eyes catching her attention. "Let her speak." The young woman took a deep breath. "Okay, so you're trying to close a tear in reality, right? But what if instead of pushing it closed, we pulled it open even more?" A moment of stunned silence followed. Then Dr. Zao burst out laughing. "Oh, brilliant. Simply brilliant. Don't you see?" She turned to the confused faces around her. "We're thinking of this rift as a wound, but it's not, it's a door." Understanding dawned on Lyra's face. "Of course, if we can fully open the portal, we can step through and confront the Arbiter directly." Zara finished, a spark of hope igniting in her chest. The green-haired girl grinned. "Exactly. Oh, I'm Skylar, by the way. Skylar Chen. I watch a lot of science fiction." What followed was a frenzy of recalculation and reallocation of resources. The containment strategy shifted to controlled expansion, with Zara at the helm, guiding the rift's growth with precision born of desperation. As the portal stabilized, a shimmering doorway hanging in the sky above New York, Zara turned to the assembled group. "I need volunteers. This is a one-way trip into the unknown. I won't order anyone tow." "Oh, shut up and let's go already," Dr. Zao interrupted, her wheelchair humming as it rose a few inches off the ground. "I didn't survive 3 bouts of cancer to miss out on interdimensional travel." Lyra stepped forward, placing a cool hand on Zara's arm. "Where you go, I go. Our fates are intertwined now." Skylar bounced on her toes, practically vibrating with excitement. "Are you kidding? Wild horses couldn't keep me away." One by one, others stepped forward, scientists, soldiers, and leaders from around the world, each ready to risk everything for their planet's future. Zara looked at the Ractor group and felt a swell of pride. This was humanity at its finest, brave, innovative, and just a little bit crazy. "All right then," she said, frost swirling around her clenched fists. "Let's go kick some cosmic ass." They stepped through the portal as one, leaving behind a world holding its collective breath. What they found on the other side defied description, a realm of pure thought and energy, where the laws of physics were more like polite suggestions. At the center of this impossible space waited the Arbiter, its form even more mind-bending up close. "You have passed the first test," its voice boomed in their minds. "You did not cower or flee, but faced the challenge head-on. But the trial is far from over." The space around them shifted, and suddenly they were no longer alone. Beings of every conceivable shape and form surrounded them, representatives of countless alien races, all watching with keen interest. "Behold the cosmic conclave," the Arbiter announced. "They will judge your worth, prove that humanity deserves a place among the stars." What followed was a battle not of weapons, but of ideas. Each member of Earth's team faced challenges that pushed them to their limits, tests of intelligence, creativity, empathy, and courage. Dr. Zhao debated quantum ethics with a being of pure mathematics. Skylar improvised solutions to cosmic-scale engineering problems. Laura served as a bridge, helping translate concepts beyond human understanding. And Zara faced the Arbiter itself in a contest of wills that threatened to unravel her very existence. Hours or eons passed. Time had little meaning in this place. But finally, impossibly, it was over. The Arbiter's form pulsed with what might have been approval. "You have surprised us, humans. Your potential is intriguing. We grant you provisional membership in the Cosmic Conclave. Use this opportunity wisely." With a gesture, the Arbiter opened a new portal. "Return to your world. Prepare your people. The universe awaits." As they stepped back onto Earth, cheers erupted from the watching crowds. Humanity had faced its greatest trial and emerged victorious. But Zara knew this was just the beginning. With the power of the Frost Core, the knowledge of the Cosmic Conclave, and the indomitable human spirit, a new age was dawning. An age of exploration and discovery, of challenges and triumphs on a cosmic scale. An age where the children of Earth would take their rightful place among the stars. As the sun rose over New York, painting the sky in hues of fire and ice, Zara looked at her unlikely team, alien and human, young and old, scientific and spiritual, and smiled. "Well," she said, frost dancing between her fingers, "who's up for saving the universe?" Their laughter, a blend of relief and excitement, rang out across the city. The greatest adventure in human history was about to begin, and they were ready to face whatever the cosmos had in store. After all, they were the children of Earth, born of stardust, tempered by fire, and now wielding the very power of frost itself. The universe had better watch out. Humanity, in all its beautiful, chaotic glory, was coming.